Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Loki. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 5 of season 2 of Loki. And after last week's episode, I have no idea where this is going. None. Zero. Zip. I mean, I love that about this show, but it definitely is just like, what? Because we had two really big things happen last week, and both of them equally horrifying. With Victor Timely getting spaghettified, yeah, I missed that one. I kept thinking of like Mobius and like the whole skin question mark thing, so I was just like, oh my god, and I was like trying to think of any way that he did not meet his end that way. That was quite a visual, but I was like, maybe it's a time slip, and nope, spaghettification. I feel like a real meatball for not knowing that one. But the hunters getting crushed in the box. Did Dox deserve that? I don't know. She destroyed a bunch of timelines, killed a bunch of people. I don't think anyone really deserves a death like that. It was quite horrifying. I'm glad they didn't show it. The sound effects were enough while it was happening, but even after, when Hunter B-15 came in and very conveniently had her tempad blocking the view. But I didn't think about it at the time, but like, yes, she knew all those people, but she was probably friends with a lot of those people that were in there. And, you know, for her to kind of like visually see that and kind of reconcile that, you know, as she's like still trying to save the TVA, that's kind of crazy. Now we got Miss Minutes, that little psychopath. I enjoy her very, very much. The performance that we could get out of an animated clock is insane. How happy she was to watch all the people get crushed. How she like had just like that devious little grin. But even when they reset the server, and she like was like fading in and fading out, and like all these sorts of things were happening with her, and then she, you know, kind of digs at Victor a little bit and is like, you'll never be him. And that's a devilish little clock. Definitely that's what motivated Victor to do what he did. And I mean, what happens to everybody when the loom goes? Because if you walk past the door and you get spaghettified, then to me, it would only make sense that if that energy grows, everyone else gets spaghettified. So are we going to see the TVA turn into spaghetti? Maybe. I don't know. I know that there was a trailer that came out for the last 2 episodes, and I didn't want to watch it because I didn't watch the first trailer. I didn't want to watch this one that just came out. I don't want anything to be ruined, and I don't want to have a visual already in my head and an idea of where I think it's even going to go. So I've been avoiding a lot of stuff that like is like, oh, what do you guys think of this? And it's just like, oh, the last like, I don't know, like these are the remaining scenes that we've gotten in the trailers of the new Rockstars thing. I like skip it. I'm like, nope. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of it. I want to be surprised, which I'm sure I will be. Definitely the idea of everyone being spaghettified is horrifying. And not only that, but it's like kind of like a gradual thing. Like it seems like it was just like slowly coming towards them. And I don't know if it like builds energy and then it explodes and just splat, or if you're like watching everybody get spaghettified as they're running down the hallway. That would be horrifying. But I don't know how they really get out of this. I mean, I know that Loki and Sylvie have their magic that they could rely on a little bit, and maybe, you know, she enchanted Eliath. I don't think you can enchant the loom or the timeline or anything like that, but, you know, maybe there's something that they could do, that they could, you know, hop somewhere else. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if a tempad, if you could open that up real quick and you know, change locations in the TVA. Or you could probably jump forward in time, or no, back in time and change something. I don't know, because it's weird because you can't do that in the regular timeline, like with the Avengers, but for some reason you can do that in TVA, and it doesn't create an alternate timeline with TVA. It just is fixing things. So again, time works differently in the TVA, which is incredibly convenient. But I was very, very sad to see Victor go, but Jonathan Majors does such an amazing job. The different variants that he's played of Kang, He Who Remains. It's just impressive work. I'm loving Ke Huy Quan as Ouroboros, and like, as we know, he's incredibly important to the story. The fact that he's like, oh, I learned to do this because of Victor Timely, and then Victor Timely's like, I learned to do this because of Ouroboros, and the snake eating its tail, you know, there's a loop, and of course Mobius being the figure 8 loop. I'm still trying to figure out Mobius and the whole grand scheme of things, because he did not want to go find another variant of himself and see what his life could be like. And I like that Sylvie kind of calls him on it. I think she was kind of being a little harsh, but like they were like, you know, like they kind of grew a little bit closer in the last season at the end there. And, you know, she's just like, what's wrong with you? Like, get it together. And he's just like, oh, you want to go get some pie? I don't know. And I think, I don't know what's up with the pie. I feel like New Rockstar said something about it, like not wiping someone's memory, but like giving them happy thoughts or whatever. It might be wiping their memory and they just don't know it. But that'd be really curious to find out like why Mobius always wants pie. And of course we saw Renslayer get pruned at the end there by Brad, so I'm assuming that she's going back to the end of time, and if she beat Eliath once, she can beat Eliath again. She's just gonna wreak some havoc. And there was like kind of a rumor that she could be a variant of Kang herself. That would be so interesting to see. I'm very curious about her and like what happens when Miss Minutes reboots and she comes back full strength. I mean, we already seen Angry Ghost Clock. We've already seen her be very vindictive towards Victor. So I'm curious to see what happens when Miss Minutes comes back online, because I'm sure that she's gonna be pissed if she remembers. She might not have any memory of it. Her memory might have been wiped. That would be curious if all of a sudden we had a happy little clock on our side. I don't know. So guys, I am not going to keep guessing. Let's get into this reaction, because where does this go from here? I have no idea. So let's get into it.
Jet skis, sea-doos, one of these calling your name, Mobius?
I don't know about
I hope so.
That's what's been happening.
Time slipping looks like spaghettification a little bit. It looks like noodling.
Temporary radiation.
So wild.
It's just too high.
What did we do wrong?
Maybe this was supposed to happen. That was so stunningly beautiful. The end shouldn't be, but it was. Okay. Did the door stop it? What's going on? Oh god, where is everybody? What happened? The timeline. It's going back together. Or it was roping up. I don't know if that's the correct term. That's the term I'm gonna use. Fail-safe mode.
This is not happening again!
He's time slipping? Oh, that looks horrible.
Hello?
Oh. When is this? Oh god. Is that going to be him reading the book and then he time slips and sees himself reading the book? Looked like they were wearing the same thing. Yep.
Hello? Hello?
It's like, is there somebody else somewhere? Oh boy. Run! Go! Oh! I thought he could outrun it for a second there. That is not the case. Good thing he can time slip. Oh. Oh, it's disappearing. This show likes to mess with you. Is it a jail? What is happening right now? Casey?
Come on.
Alcatraz? At least it's a branch timeline. Okay. Casey on the sacred timeline better be more like Casey.
Let's go. Hurry up. If they catch us, they're gonna gut us like fish.
Got us like a fish. What's a fish?
Please tell me you know who I am.
With the boat? Do you have a boat?
A boat? I don't know anything about a boat.
How'd you get here?
How did I get where?
Yep, gone. Oh. Okay, familiar place at least. Oh, okay, not anymore. Oh! So Casey, Sylvie, Mobius, Hunter B-15? God, every time it does that, it just freaks me out.
So we got a good cast on here for you. It's gonna help you heal nicely, but you're gonna have to wear it for 6 weeks,
She was a doctor.
That's not gonna stop you, is it?
Uh-huh. Same girl. Ah! Ah! Is it in front of a blue screen? Is he a salesman?
Your son's calling on line 3.
Tell him I'll call him back. So talk to me.
Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Call me if you change your mind.
He really
you
loves
want
jet
another
skis. I love it.
You're here.
Every day of the week except Sunday, 9 to 5.
That sounds awful.
The TVA is gone.
I think you mean ATV, and no, you're in luck. Sorry, single dad. Give me a second. Told you.
Oh,
I'll call
Mobius
him
has a
back.
son.
Tell him I'll call him back too.
He's got 2. Okay. Yeah, gone. Still branch timelines. Okay.
This is our tank contingent. Don't think I've ever seen this one before.
It's really good. He's one of the greats. I read
A.D.
everything
Doug.
he does.
Ooh. Yeah, but I have to ring it up. Or
It's his
are you
book.
bringing your own book?
I told you to stop putting your sci-fi books on our shelves.
Aww.
Science fiction is a well-respected and thought-provoking genre.
It is. Oh my god, I could hug him. Sorry, A.D. Doug. Yeah. Okay, so he's like this guy everywhere and every time.
What I'm about to tell you is going to be hard to believe.
Not for him. Science fiction writer.
Of course I believe you. It's a dream come true.
You are a writer.
Yes. Science fiction.
I'm doomed.
Ah, not nice.
I had to get a PhD to keep my day job teaching theoretical physics at Caltech.
Wait, you're a scientist as
Now
well?
he's
That's
important.
great.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Here's a copy. You're one lucky man. So you traveling to a place that doesn't exist anymore is equally impossible. And therefore, it's something you might be able to do.
Sure.
What?
Yeah, makes total sense. Doesn't sound
Zero
like science.
sense.
No, but it does sound like fiction.
Yeah.
I can't just make it happen.
It's wild that that looks like the
random.
TVA.
It's like you're a better version of one of those tampads.
You make it
Wow.
sound like it's a good thing.
With science, it's all what and how. But with fiction, it's why.
Okay. I love this.
So go ahead.
Now?
Yeah, just do it.
Let's see it. Come on, Loki.
Here we go.
Cool.
AD and OB are awesome. AD's gonna write an amazing book.
Maybe you need to try harder.
Come on, you have magic.
I'm trying
Use
as
your
hard as I
magic.
So, this equation proposes that... What are you doing?
Science. Now we know that electrical pulses don't initiate time slipping.
Oh, it's good to know. I love it. He's testing his theories.
But then you said you also time travel in a place at the TVA, right?
So travel
If that's the
earlier
case,
to the
then maybe
TVA.
the place and time you're looking for still exists, but you just don't know where to look for it.
Oh my god, I love this so much.
We get the band back together.
That doesn't seem very scientific.
You said everyone. It would be like coordinates.
And we can use these coordinates to get back to that moment in time.
No.
Uh-oh.
Without any of the knowledge of how it works, I would have to invent it all from scratch. It could take a whole lifetime.
Does Loki have the TVA book with him? You rascal. Hence, Ouroboros creates the TVA.
So I am gonna write a bestseller.
Yeah. Let's get to work.
It's very well known. Oh!
Oh, that's a problem.
Uh-huh. Oh, God. It looks horrible every time.
Is he burnt? Yeah, he's burnt. How did he get burnt?
Got boys.
Don't run, Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin, you rascal.
I got something I want to show you. Come here. Now, ordinarily,
Oh.
I wouldn't dream of parting with one of
Personal watercraft.
I'm going to tell you something that's hard to understand, Mobius.
Mobius?
Mobius, that's your name.
Oh.
What? How did you build a temp pad so fast?
I don't know if I say 18 months is fast. 19 months.
Oh my
I had to
god!
take a break and move out when I lost my job and my wife left me. So what now?
He built a temp pad in 18 months.
What about my boys?
They'll be fine. I can bring you back to any point in time. Your boys won't even know you're gone.
Yeah, but I will.
Yeah. Is this how Mobius got to the TVA in the first place?
What were you calling me?
Mobius.
It's a pretty cool name.
It is. Yeah.
This is going to sound strange.
Oh my god, I can't believe Casey escaped from Alcatraz. And his name's Frank. How did they find Sylvie? Casey believed him. He's gonna steal it. You don't even know what you're stealing.
So, is this everyone?
Nope. Where do we find her?
There's one more.
He jumped outside of the McDonald's. Okay. Spaghettification.
I know you don't know who
Loki,
I am.
of course I know who you are.
What?
Yeah, how does she know?
What exactly were you expecting?
Oh.
Okay. Get in the car. I'm buying you a drink.
Brad.
They don't remember who they are.
Zaniac.
Their lives matter. But Mobius should have a choice now. Shouldn't they all?
Yeah.
To return to the TVA if they want? So selfish.
Of course I'm selfish. I want a life.
Hmm.
I want to live.
She's never been able to do that.
What do you want?
I want to stop He Who Remains.
No, wrong. Try again.
I want to save the TVA.
Why?
I want the TVA back.
And?
What do you want? I want my friends back.
Oh.
I want my friends back.
He cares about them.
I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
But without them,
Who are you?
where do I belong?
Yeah.
We're all writing our own stories now. Go write yours.
Where did his bourbon go?
So that doodad just
Takes you wherever you want to go?
Within time and space? Yeah.
Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
Another planet?
Bank Vault.
Oh, God, Casey.
Rough day.
I've had better.
This will either cure what's ailing you or make it a whole lot worse.
How could that make it a whole lot worse?
Sales technique.
Yeah. Velvet Underground, yeah. Probably cures what ails ya. Now, why did her food spaghettify and go away, though? Yeah, like, why are some people, like, disappearing and whatnot? Yeah, why are things disappearing like that? Yeah, girl, you gotta do something. That's super cool.
I'm sorry. I got it wrong, all right?
No, you didn't.
It was more about what I wanted. Go back to your lives. That's where you belong.
But do I need to go back to exactly where I was?
Oh, boy.
I don't know what's happening, but there must be something we can do.
The pens. We have all the pens.
This doesn't make sense to anybody.
You can rob every bank you like when this is done. We need that 10 pad now.
Great, but I still didn't take it.
OMG. No!
It was a fiction problem.
Crap.
No, I have to go back to see my boys.
Just like Infinity War. Just watching everyone disappear.
I know where I go if I can go anywhere.
Why is he not getting spaghettified?
Do you think that what makes a Loki is the fact that we're destined to lose?
Did he just time slip on purpose? Did you figure it out?
No, they aren't.
This is amazing.
I did it.
You sure did.
It's not about where, when, or why.
What's it about?
It's about who. I can rewrite the story.
It's very hopeful, uplifting music. Oh! Stop, Victor! Oh! Oh, what a way to end that episode! I'm so mad. Oh, okay. So, what an end to that episode. It was very positive. The music is leading me to believe that, like, there's an empowered Loki, especially now that he can control time slipping. And we see him right after Victor walks down the ramp. Hopefully he can stop Victor. I don't know what happens, though. I don't... Because, well, I guess he doesn't necessarily have to stop Victor. If he can time slip to that moment, then he can time slip to another moment beforehand. Because I don't know really, like, what saving Victor really does, or I don't know if that's, like, set off the chain reaction or not, or if it just happened to be he's the person that got spaghettified. Oh my gosh. What an amazing episode. And I don't know if all the people that were gathered were the actual people that end up being part of the TVA or not, but it seems like it was an origin story. That's at least how it felt to me. I could be totally looking at that wrong, but the fact that, like, a science fiction writer, and it was very George McFly, you know, sees Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan kind of thing. That, like, it could be something that he writes about in the future, and, like, it's a, you know, a bestseller kind of science fiction. I love that for A.D. Doug. I'm really wondering who A.D. Doug is and, like, what that kind of stands for. Yeah, if you guys have any idea who that might be, if it's based off of a real person, if it's like OB, like Ouroboros, if it's I don't know, is there like something that's an AD? I have no idea. But I love that he was a science fiction writer, and I love that when Loki came to him, he's like, this is going to sound crazy. And then he's like, none of that sounds crazy. That sounds wonderful. Ke Kwan is just, he's just like a positive light. And even when he has his dramatic moments and stuff, like he's wonderful. But like, I absolutely love him in this role. He's like just very positive, doesn't like poo-poo anybody, doesn't like say like, that's ridiculous. But then like, you know, he's just so helpful and just is like very, like, I was very confused about the things that he was saying until it started to make sense. And like, he truly just like believed he could make it happen and then created a tempad. So all I can think is that, you know, like where Victor Timely, see in this case, Victor Timely didn't give him the idea for the TVA. It was Loki. Maybe it's not an origin story. I take it back. Or maybe it is and it's always been part of the origin story. I'm not sure, but I really, really love that. I love that we got to see Mobius kind of be like a normal person just selling jet skis. Like that's his life. You know, he's got 2 sons who one seems like a complete psychopath. He's like Sid from Toy Story, just burning his G.I. Joes and whatnot. Sean and Kevin. Kevin! That's all I could think of. It's just like, he's the guy that's going to stop the burglars from breaking in the house if he's home alone. 100%. But it was like nice to kind of just see him have a normal, regular life. And he was actually concerned about his boy's future because as soon as Loki said they're in danger, that's what kind of sold him a little bit. He didn't want to leave him. And he was kind of not believing in the beginning, which I don't blame him. And then was like very concerned. He's like, you told me they were in danger. Like, how do we fix this? You know, Hunter B-15, we got a doctor name at the very end, and I was, of course, too busy paying attention and, you know, was kind of mortified everybody was getting spaghettified that I was just like, oh, God, what do we do? You know, her being a doctor, I could see it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I really want, like, an actual name for Hunter B-15. Like, Sharon? That'd be nice. I don't know. She looks like a Sharon. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Now, Casey, maybe, okay, you know what? I'm starting to really stray away from the origin story when it hits Casey. But he did say something about gutting something like a fish. And, you know, I remember from season 1 when he's just like, what's a fish? So, maybe origin stories are not correct. I don't know. I'm second guessing myself, but at the same time, it felt right in the moment when I said it. Yeah, and then of course Sylvie, you know, she's just like, no, everything's great. Everyone's living their lives. There's free will. Everything's reset. And that was not the case. And I think she really had to watch somebody that like, because, you know, like the guy said, like she's his only regular. So, you know, for her to keep going back there all the time, you know, she probably is comfortable with him and sees him as kind of like a friend. And to like kind of see that happen and the whole like world disappeared. Like, you know, she like slowly was like, Tempad. All right, let's go find Loki. So, it's nice. I mean, she had to believe that something was wrong in order to want to fix it, though. And I get that it's selfish that she wants her own life, but maybe that is at the end of the tunnel after she fixes things. Now, again, I don't know why Lokis are always the ones that are getting taken. And I know that they're mischievous and they're the ones that are always like responsible for a Ragnarok of some kind or like, you know, whatever it may be. But, like, she didn't seem to be a bad one. So, can we give her back her childhood? I don't think that's possible, but it'd be lovely if we could. Great episode. Visually stunning. Time slipping looks awful every single time. It freaks me out. I jump every single time because it sounds horrible. It looks horrible. But like now he can control it. And I think that is such a game changer. One, I don't think it'll look as awful because it like looks like it's tearing him apart. So like if he can control it, maybe it won't be so much tearing as much as just slipping. One can only hope. Nothing about Miss Minutes, no Brad. I mean, we got the slight Brad with the video game, a little bit of a voiceover, but like nothing from Renslayer, He Who Remains. But I liked this because this was about the people we care about. This is about the people that we know and we love, and we want to see them kind of not just necessarily back together, but, you know, safe, to where we don't have to worry about the timelines collapsing, dissolving, erasing. We don't have to worry about any of that. So I'm happy, at least for now, about that. But where it's going to go and how they're going to end it, I feel like there's so much to do, but at the same time, there isn't. It's just save the TVA. I don't know if there's a season 3 or not, but I feel like if they don't wrap it up with like a tight little bow, it will lead into a movie or another show of some sort, and that might be really aggravating to wait for. So I would like a resolution at the end of this series. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon. But in the meantime, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. 1, do you think it was an origin story? Do you agree with me? And some hands, I'm like, yes, obviously, because he gave the book to A.D. Jones. A.D. Doug. Yes. Wow, I already forgot his name. Because I was also thinking Casey, and then I was just like, Casey is not a good origin story. But like for Hunter B-15, like she was a doctor. Like, I'd rather she have that life. I also wonder if, do you guys think he is going to change something with Victor Timely, or do you think because he can now control it, he can kind of keep jumping back until he gets to the right point? At what point does he stop? Like when does he truly try to change something? I don't even know. I don't even know where maybe he has to go back to before they killed He Who Remains. I have no idea. And I want to hear from Miss Minutes, because I'm sure that sassy little girl's got something to say. But guys, come back here for the next episode. I absolutely love this show. I do not want it to end, but I am eagerly anticipating to see how they wrap this thing up, because it's so good. It's so good. I'll be sad, but I'm just giddy to see how this thing ends. So guys, I'll see you in the next one.